Leon Draisaitl is one of the NHL's biggest stars, but a kid from Cologne, Germany, end up as one of hockey's most dominant players and a household name in Edmonton. The story starts earlier than most people realize. Leon Draisaitl's path to NHL stardom began in Cologne, Germany, where he was born on October 27, 1995, to Peter and Sandra Draisaitl. His father, Peter, was himself a standout hockey player, representing West Germany and Germany at 3 separate Winter Olympics, 1988, 1992, and 1998, before moving into coaching. Growing up in a hockey household, Leon learned the game early, with his father as his first and biggest influence, teaching him not just skills, but discipline and work ethic. As a teenager, Leon starred in Germany's Junior Development League, leading his team to a championship and earning Player of the Year honors. But it was clear that if he wanted to compete at the highest level, he'd need to test himself in North America. At 16, he crossed the Atlantic to join the Prince Albert Raiders of the Western Hockey League. The jump in speed and physicality was a real challenge, but Draisaitl adjusted quickly, and by his second full season, he was racking up over 100 points, putting himself squarely on NHL scouts' radar. In the 2014 NHL entry draft, the Edmonton Oilers selected him 3rd overall, the highest any German-trained player had ever been drafted. He made his NHL debut on October 9, 2014, against the Calgary Flames. His rookie season was a modest one, and he spent time back in junior hockey. But the early years in Edmonton were about quietly building towards something bigger. That breakout arrived in the 2019-20 season, when Draisaitl led the league with 110 points, becoming the first German-born player to win the Art Ross Trophy as the NHL's top scorer. That same year, he also won the Hart Memorial Trophy as League MVP and the Ted Lindsay Award, voted on by his fellow players, a rare trophy sweep that cemented him as one of the sport's elite. Since then, he's added a Rocket Richard Trophy as the league's top goal scorer and has remained one of the most productive players of his generation, ranking among the league leaders in goals and points nearly every season. In September 2024, with 1 season left on his existing deal, the Oilers locked Draisaitl up long-term, signing him to an 8-year, $112 million extension beginning in the 2025-26 season, worth an average of $14 million per year, the richest annual value in the salary cap era at the time. It was a clear signal from the franchise that they saw him as a cornerstone for the next decade. Draisaitl's game has always been built on a rare combination of size, vision, and touch, a player who can control a game from the half wall on the power play or bulldoze his way to the net at full speed. But away from the rink, he's built a life that balances that same intensity with something a lot more low-key. Off the ice, Leon Draisaitl's life centers on his relationship with Canadian actress and model Celeste Desjardins, along with a lifestyle that mixes success with a surprising amount of normalcy. Desjardins, known for roles on the Hallmark Channel and in shows like Letterkenny, first went public with Draisaitl on social media back in 2018, after the two connected during an off-season trip. Their relationship played out gradually online over the following years: vacations, birthdays, and eventually the arrival of their Cavapoo dog, Bowie, who has his own dedicated Instagram account. In July 2024, shortly after the Oilers' run to the Stanley Cup final, Draisaitl proposed to Desjardins on a beach in Mallorca, Spain. She shared the news with her followers, and the couple went on to marry in August 2025 at a historic chateau and vineyard in France, with Oilers captain Connor McDavid and his wife, Lauren Kyle, among the wedding party. Desjardins and Kyle have been close friends for years, part of a tight social circle among the Oilers' partners. At home, Draisaitl keeps things comfortable rather than flashy. Friends and teammates have described a house built around a home gym, modern art, and a relaxed, low-key atmosphere, a contrast to his intensity on game nights. When it comes to cars, his taste has leaned toward German engineering, and he's appeared in campaigns for brands including Genesis and Volkswagen, a nod to his roots back in Cologne. Financially, Draisaitl's on-ice earnings are only part of the picture. Beyond his contract, he became the first NHL player to sign on as a global brand ambassador for Puma, joining a roster of athletes that includes the off the ice. He's been notably generous with his hometown team, pledging an annual six-figure donation to Edmonton charities that support youth hockey access and children's health causes, a commitment the Oilers Community Foundation matches. Draisaitl splits time between Edmonton and Germany, where he still has close ties to family, including his father, who has gone on to work as a coach and sporting director in the German leagues, and his sister Kim. He's played for the German national team at multiple world championships and, in 2026, represented Germany at the Winter Olympics, where he passed his father's career international goal total, a full-circle moment for a family built around the game. Despite his profile, Draisaitl has kept his personal life relatively private, letting his play do most of the talking. Teammates and observers consistently point to his work ethic and lack of pretension as what makes him easy to root for, a star who, by most accounts, hasn't lost sight of where he came from. Leon Draisaitl's story, from a rink in Cologne to a Stanley Cup contender's top line, from a childhood watching his father play for Germany to marrying his longtime partner in France, is still being written. On the ice, he's chasing the one trophy that's eluded him and his team. Off it, he seems to have already found what he's looking for.